Okay, I'm recording. So, hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of Designers on Camera, conversations with designers, design researchers, UX professionals. And today, we have in this pandemic season, we have not done this in a while, but we have some special guests this morning. Um, And I'll start off with, can you introduce yourself? Teka lang i-share ko yung screen ko. Can you introduce yourself, Miss Chi?
Ako wala una. Okay.
Chi, go.
Yeah, so hello, I'm Chi. I'm uh I'm currently working as a product manager in Signal TV, but I'm also a UX designer, product designer, and uh front end web developer, and yeah. I'm also part of UXPH as a marketing lead,
Yes,
and I'm one of the organizers for Figma Philippines, or Friends
yes.
of Figma
Daming alam.
Philippines. Yeah,
Daming activities ni
yeah,
Chi. Grabe.
yes.
And
uh,
how young are you? Yes.
Now I'm 24.
Sige, let's get there later. All
Yeah,
right,
and
next.
uh, I
Sige, ano pa?
also I also bike commute, or like I'm a casual cyclist. Yay! So that's
Wow,
what I
casual
do.
cyclist, Makati to QC.
Yeah.
Casual cyclist. Sure. Right. Thank you, Chi. Next, we have Birdie. Hey, Oliver Birdie Salva. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, good morning. I'm Birdie. I'm the co-founder and general manager of Curiosity. We're a design research agency, and we basically help organizations understand people better so that they can design their services better. We mainly use qualitative ethnographic research approaches, and we help in two areas. So either in understanding the problem or in testing out the ideas or the prototypes that they may have. So, yeah.
Thank you, Birdie. We already interviewed you before. Thank you for joining us again. It's good to see you. Next, I have Tisha Ibasco. Ay, nag-reload.
Hey,
Sorry. No,
it's
not that one.
okay. I realize I haven't updated my LinkedIn in quite a while. But anyway,
But your nice picture, Ang ganda ng
yeah, I
background. Where
know.
was
Yun lang
that?
yung in-update ko. I think I was in Japan during that time. But
Nice.
anyway, I didn't put much in Accenture, yeah.
Oh,
But I think
grabe,
I
oh.
stayed
Yun
at,
lang,
I stayed there
It's
in,
enough. I mean,
yeah, that's,
experienced design lead in Accenture, that's enough.
It's all in
but
the
anyway,
title.
I know, just to explain na lang what I do there is
Yeah.
that I actually stayed there for about I think 5 years already, and then I manage like a team of 25 designers, and we mostly service clients from onshore, and catering to their experience design needs. So yeah, I guess in a nutshell, what we're trying to do is really build the practice of experience design in Accenture Philippines, and
Yeah.
hopefully, parang it becomes more popular in onshore. So that's
Thank
all.
you. Thank you, Tish. Tagal na. I've been trying to, for a long time, we were trying to set up something with you and Tin. And we could
I
not,
know.
we could not
Oo nga.
figure it out. Now we can do it na lang virtually.
Sabay naman na kami. So, two birds with one stone.
This time with Chi and Birdie. So the
Yeah.
next one is si Christine. Christine,
Hi,
introduce yourself.
Christine. Hi. Hi, my name is Christine Balatbat, but people usually call me Tin in the Philippines. So I hope that's easy for your international viewers.
Yes.
I'm a customer experience officer in JG Summit Holdings Inc. So basically, I help business units kind of think about how they can digitally transform their current services. How do they translate that offline to online experience?
Mhm.
And I guess in the team, my main responsibility would be teaching others how to use research and insights to better plan their services and products for the future.
Actually, I think Tin, we can talk about at least something, but not everything. Because I just saw
Some of the things.
one of your projects already sharing their post on Tin. So it's interesting to see that. All right. So,
Mm-hmm.
thanks, Tin. All right, let's jump right in. I'll stop sharing. Um, I think my first question, and I'll probably go through your Instagram post. Sino bang mga Instagram dito? Si Fish lang, tsaka si Birdie. I don't see Birdie's Instagram, you know. So
Ah,
I'll start looking
Puro,
for
puro
yung
board game pa
mga
yun eh. Medyo ano.
looking at my Instagram profile is kind of painful, ha? Kasi it reminds you of all of the things that you can do before.
Yeah,
Ah,
oo nga eh.
oo. The
Sige,
old days.
so yeah, I guess my first question is, um, um, how has your life been during this past few months of community quarantine because of COVID-19? Kumusta? What have you been doing? What are you up to? Or how is it life like in this COVID-19 season? Sige, who wants to start? Ande, I'll start off. Yung ginagawa namin ni Tin, I will start with Tin and Tin pass the ball to the next
Okay.
person.
Sige,
We do
sige.
this all the time.
Sige.
So Tin, what have you been doing? What have you been up to?
I guess the most surprising thing right now is I'm more productive in terms of work, but less active.
Oh, oo.
So I guess with the shift of working from home, like companies are forced to rethink that, being productive is not really a result of where you are.
Mm-mm.
So at least for our team, I think we've really proven that. But I couldn't say the same for other people din naman. Um, but that, and I have to rethink a lot of my habits, like how I do my finances, what I do on a
Oo.
weekend, how
Oo.
I buy my groceries. So like in general, it's a lot to change in behavior in such a short time, and we know how difficult it is to change behavior. But
Yeah.
this time, we're kind of forced anyway to do it.
Yeah, oo nga eh. And
Yeah.
sige,
Um,
after you're done, pass the ball.
I guess kay Chi, I will pass it to
Like,
Chi because I like her
okay.
background.
Okay. Yeah, so life during quarantine has been both nice na I don't have to go out, parang like work from home, like so working from home is something that I like doing because I live in QC and my work is in Mandaluyong. Even though I have control over my commute, which is I bike commute, which will just take me like 45 minutes to an hour to get to work. It's still like a hassle to just syempre like to get the stuff, tapos parang I have to think about my bag, ano yung dala-dala ko, and then like go back after that. Parang I'm happy na I don't necessarily have to think about that every day. But
Ah,
at the same time, I just really miss being able to have a choice to go out when I want to. Because
ah,
that's how I reset, that's how I take a break or de-stress. I
yeah.
used to be an introvert, but now I've changed. Now I'm like I transformed into an extrovert for some reason. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so like I miss my bike
Yan
then.
ang mga
I
ano mo.
miss being able to go out.
Mm,
Yeah, and like have drinks or just go out with friends.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, we all
yeah.
miss that. Kaya nga we're just doing this virtually,
Yeah.
inuman sessions. But at least
Yeah.
you're busy with UX, PH,
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
on
and so the stuff that I've been doing so far has been just being more active in, or rather being more proactive in all of the extracurriculars that I'm working on. So that's UXPH and that's well Figma PH and like other people, like other things that I could volunteer in during the start ish of the quarantine time.
uh,
I volunteered to do some designs for this group that's making like a self check app for COVID, like for possible COVID positive people, or just parang if people want to check, thus they don't have to go to the hospital pa just to be able to like confirm. Well, hindi man din siya yung one-stop solution. Parang you still have to go to the hospital just to like actually confirm. Pero at least it helps. Parang the goal is to not have everyone go outside and risk exposing themselves further. Tapos, ayun, Animal Crossing. I mean, you can see din naman sa Instagram ko, like, I've been playing the Switch so much. I actually am happy as well that I have, like, time to rest and time to, like, work. But another problem with that is now I just really have to be mindful of
playing
my
it.
time. Yes. I have to be mindful of my time because of
Even in your game,
um
you're bicycle. You have a bicycle.
yes, I'm so happy that they have a bicycle in the game, but I'm sad I can't ride the bicycle there. But
Right.
it's like it's enough. I can get as many bikes as I want.
Sige,
But
pass
yeah,
the ball, ah.
like, yes, yes. But yeah, yun now. So it's been doing so far. I will pass the ball to Tish because she also has a moving basket.
Oo nga, Tish, oh. Oh,
So,
look at what Tish has been doing.
thanks for your thanks for
Sabi.
passing the ball. Wala, it's just lang yan. But anyway,
Sarap po. This looks good, Tish. Oh my
I wasn't the
God.
one who made that. In fairness, si Mike gumawa niya.
Talaga.
Yeah, I think the difference with what I realized is that this COVID,
Ah.
I never thought that I would be this domestic. Parang lately natutunan ko na parang kami ni Mike, we were worrying so much about the drainage and walang maintenance, and also we had to clean the grease stack ourselves. So I learned how to do that, and then
Wow.
I guess what I realized is that it seems that I have more control over my time right now, and parang I can purposely wake up early so that I can go off early. So siguro para mga 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, I'm already awake, and then I can go off by 5 so that I can do some of my chores or some of the things that I actually want to do. So parang majority of it is cooking. So para it's become my outlet, and I'm so excited right now because I just got my KitchenAid mixer, so I'm really really excited.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Let's talk about cooking sometime, but
Sige, sige. So, yun. I guess in terms of, yeah, I'm just generally grateful na I'm in this position, that I'm comfortable with my home, because I know that some of the people, they may not have this kind of setup. So, in general, I'm just thankful of having a job and being comfortable in my own home.
So you've been also been working remotely, I assume. No?
Yes, for quite some time now.
Nice.
Even full on work from home.
All right.
Yeah, and then I'll pass on the ball to Birdie.
Oh, last but not least, is Birdie.
Hey.
Birdie, I don't have access to your Birdie, to your Instagram. You're hiding.
You have to follow me kasi naka-private.
Talaga? Ganun ba yan? Let me see. I'm trying to access. I think I followed back na. But I think, I followed niya. I requested na ba? It's okay.
Okay. Anyway, wala ka nang
Yes,
So, Bish, nakita namin lagi kinakain nyo, niluto niya everyday.
Oo nga eh.
Pinapost niya eh.
Tapos, nakaka-challenge. But yeah, so, on my end naman, so me and my wife, we're, in terms of work naman, generally, we're work from home naman a lot of the time. So, except when I used to have to go to meet clients and stuff. So, kind of. But say, changes in home behaviors, I think, cooking is one of those things, a major adjustment for us. Dati kasi laging take out or when we cook like cook breakfast lang, and then the rest either we take out or we share the meals with our families, with our parents. So now we really had to learn and strategize how to manage the amount of time to cook, prep, cook, clean up.
I know, right?
But we're really quite happy with, especially because we just moved in in our new place, so we're super happy, and we have our own space, and it's and we love it, and yeah, we're really enjoying din naman yung adjustments namin sa itong quarantine period. Haba ng buhok ko, so di pa dumating yung clippers.
I
Magpapakalbo ka ba, Birdie?
I'm confident na kaya namin gawin ito na maayos.
All right.
I am not confident. So my partner was asking me, can you cut my hair? I'm like, no. I think you'll hate me for a while.
Yeah.
So, nasa beauty industry naman kami dati, so kind of.
Oh yeah! Are you gonna color your hair, Birdie?
But those L'Oreal days, will
Yeah.
L'Oreal, yes, yes.
Actually, see, Mike was also offering to cut my hair in exchange that I got this, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a risk on my end.
I did it twice na
Yeah.
for my bangs. I
Ako
think
rin.
si Ellie na-witness niya yung pagkapangit ng bangs ko for the past few days. But
Actually, ganda
ngayon,
nga ng bangs mo eh.
right now it's okay kasi grew na. Pero for the
Oo.
past week, nandito siya.
All
I
right.
understand that kasi nangyari yan sa akin like 2 weeks ago. Kasi hindi siya pantay,
Siguro
so my mom cut it. Tapos
baka
parang,
ginupit
okay.
niyo ng basa, tapos biglang nag-dry up.
Yeah. Parang ano okay na siya. And then sinasabihan ako, oh, hindi siya pantay. Tinry gupit. Tapos wala, nasira na.
Sobra.
Sinasabi ko na lang, like, intentional yung pagka hindi pantay.
Right. I think no one will complain naman eh. Well, say everyone probably has long hair now.
How about you, Ellie? Like, how did your behaviors change during COVID-19?
Ayan, tignan nyo. I will share my Instagram and I'll show you how my behaviors are sharing. Let me show my Instagram para quits.
Actually, si Ellie is looking good. I
Diba?
think oo.
Galing ko pero
You know, I keep on teasing him every time we're in a meeting now. When I see you, maybe you have abs na.
No. Yeah, this is what I've been doing. I've been cooking and sharing on Instagram, and sometimes watching Netflix, and then here, sometimes playing games with you, which we will play again later. I'll introduce. Let's end there. Okay. This is the next one I wanted to talk to you all about is so in regards to that. What have you been seeing are interesting design trends lately or design things that are happening because of the COVID-19 situation? I'll start off by saying that we have a 3D printer at home, and my partner here, my wife, has been supporting the making PPEs for our friends, doctor friends, and I think I have one here that in my screen here. She had made this. It's interesting because while I was witnessing her talking to all these 3D print designers online, it's been iterating the designs. Even the back part of the design was changing because the doctors were complaining they couldn't wear it too long because it's masakit. It's hard in the back. So even that, I see how it's iterating quickly during COVID season. So for me, this was interesting for me to see this happening on this season while and then of course some of the other doctors wanted to see a Darth Vader mask. Of course she made one for our Dr. Pins, Darth Vader mask, and although we've yet to see whether or not what they've done with it. So that's what I've seen. It's interesting, no? Even the designs of some of how the stations for checking for COVID-19. It's interesting for me how it's iterating. That's what I've seen so far. How about you? What have you been seeing that's interesting? And I'll start off with Tisha. Fish. What have you been seeing that's interesting na nakita mo lately?
Yeah. So I in terms of it's not design per se, but I guess it's not a digital service, but it's maybe in a bigger scope. Like I've been seeing, let's say, Sina, from the time when I was looking for how to help in COVID, then nakikita ko si Ganit Bredo starting off with just a small website wherein she's just asking donations, and then now the programs are now progressing into something that's more community driven. So that's what's really interesting for me. So like, I think lately they started with the community market because they want to help also yung mga displaced na tricycle drivers who can now be part of their team to work as delivery boy. So parang I think they're piloting it in the Kamuning market. So I think yun yung mga pinaka-interesting programs for me. Something na it doesn't only help the like small businesses, but also yung mga other people who are affected by this COVID.
Okay, thanks. Who do you pass the ball to? Who you'd like to also share?
I'll pass the ball to Tin because she has nice bags.
It's the banks. Okay. Me, I guess design, not in the sense of visual design, but mainly how businesses operate and even the value that they give na to Filipinos. So no one really prepares for a pandemic, I guess, except Bill Gates, kasi he's
Yeah.
been talking about this
Yeah,
for
he's
the
been talking
longest
about it.
time na. But everyone has had to like rethink how can I kind of translate if it's a retail services from something offline to online. So you see a lot of retail brands really pivoting and providing e-commerce in such a short time. And I guess yun din kasi yung pinaka-pivotal moment. And I guess for smaller businesses, um, it's quite unfortunate kasi mahihirapan sila to recover in this situation. But you can also see naman other larger businesses help them out by either providing loans or donations, just like what you all of you've said. Right.
Yeah, I'd like to also jump right in and share one of my favorite mayor and some
Mm-hmm.
of the designs that I'm
Si
seeing.
Vico ba yan?
Really, you
Because
live
I'm
there.
I'm based in Pasig, so I just wanted to share
Yes.
the
May
things that I'm
gaya
seeing.
konting-konti
Oo
na lang,
nga.
Pasig na kami.
Love on the mayors, please.
Neighbor
Look at the
eh.
things that
Hindi
are
ko
being
alam if it's hindi ko alam if
designed
it's
right
true, pero
now.
sabi daw nila yung Sheridan, half of it is
Mm-hmm.
Mandaluyong and then the other half is Pasig. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah. So, sige, thanks for Tin for sharing. Who do you pass the ball to?
Birdie.
Go, Birdie.
So, sa akin, no, I'm part of a business network group, and it's a lot of discussions every week na parang, oh, how are you doing? What are you doing? And stuff. And what's actually interesting is how everyone is trying to synergize. Yun yung naging interesting sa akin, parang paano nag-evolve. But when the businesses are evolving, they don't evolve alone. Nag-evolve sila when they partner up with someone else and they create something new. So for example, I have a friend na who sells cleaning agents. Yung mga industrial cleaning agents, like if you need to clean mga dirty kitchens, greasy, commercial, industrial kitchens, they sell that kind of chemical. And then I have a friend naman who does pest control. Then combine sila saying na, okay, I have the disinfectants, you have the manpower to disinfect dati mga termites, now we'll use it to disinfect COVID. So parang they create this new service. I have a friend na...
It's interesting. You were also talking about services that you're thinking, no? Because of you see happening during COVID season, right? What was the other thing that you mentioned to me the for artists? Later you can share.
But yeah, I have another friend naman na siya na visual note taker for pagka may live conferences dati. So pushpin those solutions. Given na wala ng live conferences now, pero marami ng webinars and marami ng podcasts. So he partnered with a voiceover talent guy. The voiceover, and then they approach companies saying na if you have training materials, we can create it into a podcast. Here's a guy who has a beautiful, sexy voice. He'll read it. He'll do your training on a podcast. And then sila pushpin.
Nice.
We'll do the notes at the end of your 30-minute 1-hour podcast. Tada, may visual notes ka na. So they created something new. So yun yung mga interesting things. And of course, you have things like sila frontline feeders, lockdown labs, using their own skills, connecting with other people, creating something new rin. Restaurants again, nag-feed na rin. You have the graphics helping them communicate it, fundraising, handling all the deliveries, all of those things. So yeah, I guess that's the most amazing thing I've seen.
And then what was the you mentioned the website where artists were who lost the gig.
I lost my gig.ph.
I lost my
gig.ph. So not only artists, anyone na nasa gig economy, like wedding planners, yung mga, they make jingles or sound engineers sila, sound designers, photographers.
Yeah, let me share.
So this is a big survey para lang to gather all the information, at least para may bigger picture lang kung ano yung impact to the freelance, to the at least gig economy.
Oo nga, kawawa naman itong mga them, no? And
dami. Ang dami.
Dami, oo.
Sige. I think sa 200 million na daw yung estimated na everyone when they place na ano yung lost income nila.
Yeah, so everyone's forced to kind of think of how they can get income in a different way, no? So like even in our community, in our condo, you see a lot of small businesses popping up na like even if I think hindi pa sila registered, But I guess wala ka na rin choice as a consumer but to buy from them. Lalo na if you are forced to stay indoors, you just buy the item
Right.
anyway.
Right. That's right. Sige.
To
So
be fair
our
to that community, sorry,
go.
to be fair to
Go.
that community, parang ano parang mas maganda pa yung nakukuha kong produce compared to the
I
Same.
know.
grocery.
Mura, di
Yeah.
ba?
Same.
Sobrang
Meron na akong supply ng avocados ngayon.
Every weekend,
Um,
right, Tish?
yeah, every weekend. So,
yes,
mamaya
I
kukuha
know.
ulit ako. Pero yung,
Mm-mm.
speaking of the community that Tian was saying, one of the interesting things here is consideration also for the elderly here. So
Oh,
parang
yes.
merong parang concept of the passerby wherein if you happen to be shopping or going to the grocery, you can ask or you can sponsor maybe one of the elderly folks here who can and you can probably do the
Nice.
shopping on behalf of them. So that's really good that they're thinking about also the elderly here.
Yeah,
Magpasabay, wag pasaway. Di ba?
I just wanted to share this that I'm all si Aldrich Tan, one of the current lead of UX Philippines, had shared me this group Fruitful Good Life and or the weekly veggies and fruits from them. So here's a screenshot of how the food that I'm getting from them every week. I also now have a regular stock of avocado because of them. So yeah. Ochi, how about you?
Okay. So,
Good swing.
continuing on the talk about communities, nung the start of quarantine din kasi, the government announced din na public transport's gonna be suspended. So, that's just gonna like wreck everyone else who does not have a car, which is essentially
Mm-hmm.
almost everyone else naman din anyway. Because like contrary to whatever is kita naman when we're traveling, like a small percent of the population lang have cars or own cars. Some of them own multiple cars. Like the rest, they rely on public transportation and um other means or like kunyari yung mga TNVs or just carpooling or something ganyan. Tapos now, like, I will just like share na lang since wala cycling din talaga yung like yun na rin yung other community group ko. Like ever since naman, even before quarantine, people have been clamoring or like our cycling advocacy groups have been pushing for having a cycling culture in the Philippines, just to like encourage everyone to just get a bike or just like use alternative modes of transport. Like there's also the kick scooters na naging uso rin lately. But now I'm seeing like more people are actually responding to the things that have been shared by these bike advocacy groups. Dumadami sila. And dumadami rin yung mga nagsasabi na, yeah, they're either thinking of getting a bike, learning how to bike if they never learned when they were young, or wanting to learn how to bike to commute or bike to work. Tapos, there was also one group uh, that's called Life Cycles PH that also started this movement where you can either lend a bike, one of your bikes if you own a bike to a frontliner, or if ever you're a frontliner and you need like the vehicle, you can go into that group as well. Tapos you can ask parang, oh, can I borrow a bicycle? Tapos kasi you're hearing stuff about these frontliners, these health professionals having to walk all the way from their houses up to their the hospital or like kung saan man, and you parang ang it's just so alarming sometimes na parang maririnig mo na they've been walking like all day, and then now you hear na okay, now they have a bike. At least it's like a faster mode of walking if you think about it. Na they're on Facebook and they've also like they've raised like a lot of money. So if you don't have a bike but you still want to help, you can also like donate money for the group, the Life Cycles PH group, to buy a bike for the frontliners that would need it. So usually parang 5,000 pesos lang naman yung parang utility bike or yung parang Japanese bike na makikita mo sa mga bike shops. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's nice lang then to see at least like now I'm also like I'm getting more and more people like into cycling, and also seeing like other people like just getting interested in it, na mukhang may pwedeng mangyari, and the government is actually also talking about it. There have been bills that have been that are being talked about, more more coverage in the media, ganun. So it's just yun na din yung isa pang change na I'm hopefully gets like get cycling part of the new normal
Yeah, yeah.
after the whole pandemic, whatever new normal ganyan.
I also wanted to share this again from my favorite mayor.
Sabi ni Vico, no?
Yeah.
He's preparing din for bike lanes, diba?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Let me look for it. I was looking for the article that was
Team
transport.
Vico, Team V.
Sila kasi
I
lang
think
naman yung
ever since Pasig has already had bike lanes, hindi ko lang alam if they're really following. I don't see some people using it kasi. Pero meron ng
ah,
bike lane sa
kasi
Pasig.
like you don't see people using it na kasi they've used it na kasi they've already passed. Parang
Mm-mm.
hindi kami tatagal doon kasi nga that's the point of the bike lane. You pass through without having to be stuck in traffic. Tapos yung problema lang kasi is they're in the central business district lang. So, one of my friends na part sa isang cycling advocacy group, Cycling Matters, they tried to go through parang around Pasig. Ayan, so like, okay, yung pinapakita din ni Ellie, that's also another initiative dun sa Pasig. Again, puro Pasig. When it comes to bikes, puro Pasig yung mga initiatives. Tapos nakakatuwa lang. I've actually tested this one. And it's nice din kasi to see na parang, okay, may mga urban planners ako na nakikilala, mga nagde-design din for the infrastructure, for like transport. Tapos, syempre, like may design din na involved doon. Pero, hindi lang naman din kailangan doon. Puro designers, kailangan din yung mga planners, kailangan yung mga
Yeah.
engineers. Like, everyone can be involved, everyone can help, basta you just want to help. Parang, it's nice lang na nagko-convene yung mga tao for a better situation than before.
So I guess that is a nice segue to my third question for you all today is how do you think experiences and design will change given them in the next few months or to the next year as we lift up all this the community quarantine and as we eventually will have to hopefully a vaccine will be made for COVID-19 by in the next month or maybe until next year based on the news. So how do you think will life be? What is the new normal as you see it right now? So I'll jump off, right? Since you've been talking about the bike life, I'll jump you off and you pass the ball later on. Go.
Cycling is actually something that gets picked up by literally anyone and everyone like in the Philippines. Kasi mala rain or shine naman, you can bike naman eh. And basta ang important kasi dito is the government actually sets up like infrastructure to support the 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 culture. Kasi kunyari kung yung issue is maulan, parang there someone made like a design, like a post about what if meron pa Jack Expressway na parang all the way from I think Fairview or Novaliches up until Makati. Tapos parang may as in nakalatag siya, tapos maybe parts of it are covered, merong mga entry points where people can borrow bikes, and then they go to another entry point along that expressway and then put the bike back there. I mean, wishful thinking, don't steal the bike, or at least parang the government would have like measures to mitigate those parang if that would happen. Pero yung mga ganun parang sana talagang gawin siya kasi people have been like asking about this like for so long, as in tagal na, like before I even got into like fully into cycling na din. Tapos yan, even the pop-up bike lanes, those are like a short parang band-aid solution pa lang din yan actually. I mean, kasi like I was asking some friends, or like some friends who live in Pasig and also have bikes, they said na parang may mga tao pa rin, so parang naging extension lang ng pedestrian ng sidewalk. And if you think about it, pwede naman mag-share talaga ang bikes and yung pedestrians, depending na lang dun sa design again of the lay of the land. And that's also happening kasi nga the sidewalks are like small. So nag-overlap din sila with the lanes that are for bike. So alam mo yun, ang daming involved na mga implications dun sa how you set it up, how you design it. Okay, binabuzzword ko na si design. But anyway, parang, I just really hope na the government would really, like, listen na and actually do something about it. Because this has been, like, for the longest time, yung hinihingi ng maraming groups. At mukhang mafo-force sila na then to accommodate yung mga hinihingi ng mga taong to. Kasi nga, paano mo,
This is the new
parang,
normal.
yeah, it's the new normal, and it's like it's also helping the environment din naman. Like if you or I don't know if you don't care about like climate change, if you don't believe in it, because some people still apparently do not believe that climate change is like happening. Parang at least it's like a form of exercise. It's an
Mhm.
alternative. It's an alternate mode of transportation. Just give people a chance to be able to do this, even if you're in a car. Parang basta parang think about the other people. Like you move the people, not the vehicles, the motorized vehicles that can kill someone just by running into them.
I see you're very passionate about this. But
Yeah,
do
because
you feel it, everyone? Do you feel it's really the passion from
yeah, like
from
kasi
Chi?
parang alam mo yun, like now it's like people are like saying na, oh yeah, we need bike lanes. Oh yeah, we need to like ride bikes. It's like, yeah, we've been saying, people have been talking about that ever
Yeah, and
since.
there's a concept for
Weird.
a Jack Expressway, right? Some people are writing to senators to have some sort of bicycle superhighway or a Jack Expressway. I
Or at
just
least
come on this
notice na
discussion.
parang it's an essential mode of transportation, which is what like Pasig did good actually. Kasi at least now, papansinin na yung mga cyclists. Kasi isa pang problema yon, like, okay, going away from road design, yung mga establishments pa, like I have personally experienced either buildings or establishments barring me from like going into their places just because I'm on a bike and I can't park it somewhere. Is alam mo yun, like such a simple problem for people na kunyari pag may kotse, they can just park anywhere. Literally kahit nga dun sa gilid na
Yep, yep.
technically bawal, people do it anyway. Pero pag bike, parang bawal po yan, ma'am. Ganyan. Parang ano namang ayan yan dito sa Tajak Expressway. You know, from Batasan to Makati, and then pwedeng BGC, and then Intramuros, ang layo na mararating mo. And that's like, technically, that's just gonna take you an hour and a half. Imagine doing that in a car with all of the traffic, with all of the other vehicles on the car, on the road. Now you can just like, you have control over yung travel time mo. So, yes. Sorry, I'm just really passionate then about this kasi
Yeah, I
parang
feel that. I feel your passion.
sige,
Let's pass the ball next.
I'll pass the ball na to Birdie naman. So,
Grabe.
kanina ba? Yeah, go Birdie.
What's the question again?
The normal would be, tama ba?
Yeah. What do you think? How do you see the new normal would be? What's it going to be like in the next few months to the next year? And what do you see? How do you see experiences will change, or and design, maybe how you design for those experiences change? You have a couple of ideas that you already are playing around with. Maybe you'd like to share about that, Birdie.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll use innovation framework na lang muna. So, i-divide natin yung mga possible things into three buckets. We have efficiency, sustaining, and market creation. Yung efficiency, ito yung mga parang any innovation that might just make things faster, easier, cheaper. So, ito yung example, let's say disinfecting, PPEs, thermal scanning, anything na mga gayong technologies na, all the manufacturing, the engineering will just make it much, much faster, much, much cheaper, much more widely available. Yung sustaining would be, how do you make things that are already working just better? So this would be the delivery service, ordering service, supermarket service, yung mga online shopping, your Zoom calls, all these things that are already working, how do you just make it better lang? So and then the last would be market creation. I think this is the hard one where what are the new things that will be created out of this whole situation? So I don't know if you've been seeing that, but a lot of mga artists and a lot of mga freelancers, sometimes they would do online sessions. Like parang, I'll be your online coach, doing training, mga workouts online, or may mga live performances na rin, or I'll do music tutorials with your kids online. So you have those things that are interesting na yun yung, I think that's a space to see ano yung mga new industries that will pop up. So the one thing, as you mentioned, Eileen, the one thing that I'm kind of working on right now is on, initially it was inspired by seeing people who lost someone during times of COVID, and given na
Yeah.
walang chance to have wakes or funerals or to meet up with your families and friends, to console, to grieve together.
Mm-mm.
And I saw a lot of friends na who would lose someone in the past few weeks, and Facebook lang, kasi I'd seen on Facebook they'd write a really long eulogy, photos, and everyone giving their condolences. But parang after you scroll, and then after you scroll a bit, you feel bad, you scroll a bit, then you go to a meme, and then wala na, that's it. That's the end of that experience. Parang I'm just wondering how are families coping. So I started talking. I started reaching out to friends, and finding out parang what have they been doing, how are they handling the walang funerals, and they would say now they would hold online Zoom wakes, na gathered all the family members all across the world, say a prayer, share stories, etc. So nag-adapt sila, and I guess doon ako naisip na parang is there something I can do to help in this world. And as they were telling me na parang what really helped was to keep on telling their story. So if someone passed away, the way that when they share the story to someone else and someone else telling stories to them, that helps. But it all relies on your memory to remember all those stories. And I'm wondering what if you could capture all those mga kwento, so that you can at least preserve it and keep on going back to it as you need it. So that's where I was thinking, what if I create a platform that will help people, invite people to submit stories about the deceased, easy to send videos, easy to collect, compile, and then hopefully it can be combined, edited into a um, beautiful compilation video. And I have some ideas on some assumptions on what I think will make it easy for people to submit those videos and to guide them. Yeah. So
Nice.
that's what it.
Sounds promising, no? So, I mean, and it might be the new normal, nga, given what's being sold, being told by being shared right now, na a lot of the spreading of the virus because of people coming together, and so there's a frowning down upon mass gatherings talaga moving forward. So who do you pass the ball to, Birdie? Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, so, it won't replace the wake. Definitely the wakes and stuff, it'll still happen. I think yung mga funeral homes, they will lighten up yung mga restrictions, so it will still happen. Pero hopefully, my thing will just add to that experience.
Right.
Next thing.
Ako ba
Tin.
yun?
So, Tin, what do you think will be the new normal?
What do I think will be the new normal?
Experiences of people, and how would you design for it na?
I think in terms of workflows ng mga designers or UX researchers, etc., it's just having a lot more consideration towards safety. Because technically, you're forced anyway
Yeah.
because of all of the guidelines given by the government. So taking into considering that, that's how you kind of use the tools now na. So before, we can really do in-depth interviews in person, but now we have to translate all of those methods online. So one, for workflows. Two, in terms of like in the industry general, I think in terms of operations ng mga retail industry, thinking about how are you going to scale and move around inventory. Kasi again, all of us are not prepared. So I'm kind of interested to see what are the concepts or I guess plans or strategies nitong mga retail stores to actually keep up with inventory and demand, especially on logistics rin. Kasi I think most would be relying on third-party services that are already available. So what else can we do to actually help other Filipinos then by making that process of the business more efficient? Individually, I think gusto ko makakita ng more change in terms of the health industry as well, lalo na for the hospitals, the clinics, etc. Because I think, I still think yung flattening the curve is a temporary fix, but hospitals really need to think how are they going to scale their other services and translate that online. So at least for me, sa experience ko, I think that was 3 weeks ago where my asthma was already acting up already, and I can't really go to VRP or other hospitals kasi they are far.
Even if
And
it's not, it's the relatively near. You can.
yes, I think that's just 2 blocks away. But syempre, you're just very fearful for your safety then
Yeah.
of getting the disease or the virus. But so I really want to see how are they going to translate telemedicine online now. Because I kept on asking like, St. Luke's, do you have people that can actually consult with me online? Wala rin. So fortunately, my previous doctor was kind enough to accommodate me with telemedicine. So I was really happy. But for other services that I usually use, like, because I am expecting, medyo mahirap siya.
Mhm.
So in terms of now, ang thinking ko is, okay, how do I get my ultrasound done? How do I get my regular consultations from my OB? What are the implications with my
I
birth
see Chi's
plan?
reaction. She was reacting.
Etc. etc. So I still have all of these questions, and when I ask hospitals, okay, what's your plan? Like in like 3 months, ba, what will happen? Will my OB be there? If she's not there, if she has the disease, what will happen? So I think there's still a lot of planning on that end because all of the focus is currently firefighting COVID. So we don't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the hospitals are thinking of what are the consequences, or at least um, ano yung mga other deaths or implications that
Yes.
happen because of this situation. That is
Correct.
not really the direct cause of COVID.
Yeah.
Yun.
Sige. Thank you, Tin. And last. So you just in not so many words, in so many words, had shared to people.
Yes,
And I could see reaction of Chi.
Michi. Yes, I will be giving birth to a UX baby soon.
Like,
Congratulations. Chi.
Bata pa lang, tuturuan ko na.
Congrats. Congrats. All right.
Thank
So
you.
our last sharer, Krish, what do you think will be the new normal, and we're going to be designing for it?
So congrats, Tin, that you are expecting now. And I like how you stress the importance of thinking about people's safety. Kasi parang
Mhm.
I've been seeing around like the efforts of companies and also in the retail industry on how they're trying to think about the safety of the people. And what I realize is that I think moving forward there will be trade-offs versus what the customer really needs in terms of kunyari, yung mga experiences that we've had before in terms of the comfort net, yung comfort nila within malls, because I've heard na, I think in one of the news they're planning on reducing the temperature of the aircon just so that people can leave. And then
Or no
like
Wi-Fi?
yes,
Yes.
so
Turning off Wi-Fi in
yes.
the malls.
So before, we're all about championing yung comfort of people and then giving access to these services for the people. But now, given that safety is a top priority, I guess we have to prepare ourselves in foregoing these measures. Um, I guess, but in in general, it made me start thinking about what is really important as a need, and parang uh, what what was important and a need to be before is now parang what I realize is just um, it's it's no longer as important now. So like even when Taiwan is coming up with all these policies and making use of data so that they can make sense of contact tracing, they also have to balance it with the privacy of people.
Yeah.
Parang, it is an issue. So there's this really delicate balance now of how people or of how the companies and government would enact policies versus what's comfortable for people or what's really needed by people. So yun. At
Right.
least sa side ng organizations, yung sa logistics na mention ni Tim, yung logistics naman that I wanted to talk about is also about yung how you're going to recruit people, enroll in people, and give them the tools that they need, given that we're now dispersed in different places. So at least in our company, and there's meron parang delivery service. Now once people have joined us, then they will deliver yung mga tools or yung mga workstations to their home. So at least it's one of the good things that I've been seeing on a company level on how they think about the safety of the people. So yeah.
So yeah, thank you. Wow. We've been talking. It's already almost an hour.
Do you still have time for the game?
Oh, they still have time. Let's just do thing. Well, thank you everyone for sharing, and I still want to do the game with you guys. I
Sige.
hope let's do like maybe about pa siguro mga 10-15 minutes. I hope you can see. I'll start off the game quickly. So this is a Kahoot game that I just searched online, a public Kahoot. Share my screen
Okay.
for yan. And you can use, I highly recommend use your mobile phone instead to
My phone.
to log in and then answer using your mobile phone. So may I ask you to join the game? Thank you for joining. This is part 2 of our Conversations with Designers game edition, Gaming with Designers. And now we're playing a game with our design UX professionals, design research professionals here.
Yes.
So there's Chi. Ayan na.
Ito na, wait.
Yes.
Game.
We're gonna play.
Teka lang, ang bagal. Ayun. I refreshed it again. Okay.
Love. Bad UX daw.
Yeah.
Sasabihin ng iba, hindi, kasalanan mo yan. It's not the design's fault.
Yan. All right, I'll start so we can finish quickly. All right, start, ready, go. This is, are you ready? 10 questions.
Oo nga.
It's okay. Which of these methodologies do UX designers advocate?
Ang bagal.
Methodologies do UX designers? Yes, ang bilis. Very fast, So, fish, very fast clicker.
Wala man lang parang tutorial.
Dive right in, Dive right in.
Nakonfuse ako dun sa shapes. Anong shapes to? Wala naman yung sagot. Okay, go.
It's okay, it's just a fun game. Next, quiz number 2. Which of these is not a true affordance? Which of these is not a true affordance? Door handle, close icon, fire alarm button, href, Google.
May pressure pa yung kante.
Oh, no.
I don't know why that is not a true affordance. Close icon.
Mali yan, mali. Wrong.
I wonder, we can criticize the designer of this game.
Who made this?
Which of these methods is often used by UX practitioners applying a lean UX methodology? Proto-personas. Right. Ang ano naman itong quiz na to?
I thought like which one is not.
Oo nga. Napipressure ako sa music.
Alright, next. I'll jump right into the next one. Which of these experiment designs test control and effect conditions on all participants? I actually have no idea in some of the answers here. I would actually fail, I think. Which of these experiments designs test control and effect conditions on all participants? Like this one, I don't know the answer here. I would guess here.
Mali.
Participants.
Guess na lang ako.
Diba? Like, is this something that we talk about?
Ako din na-confuse
diba,
ako.
parang, it's like,
hindi ito yung definition nun.
Yeah, parang, Well, anyway,
excuses
because I just looked for this. Next.
Parang ako, randomly pick.
Which of these specialisms often creates?
Specialism.
Specialism.
It depends.
Oo. It depends nga eh.
It depends.
Lahat.
Fail.
Grabe. That depends.
Although,
I am a
Tisha,
pro.
Tisha,
So,
halata ako, you're so...
magaling nang humula.
Which is the
Na-pressure ako
theme
rin
of
dito.
design thinking. Which is the theme of design thinking. Which is the theme of design thinking.
Di ba dapat double diamond to?
Oo
Oh,
nga
I know
Di
it's a
ba
double
mix
diamond.
parehas?
That's a double
No, it's
diamond.
not.
Di ba mix na ng convergent and divergent na
Yes,
Hirapan na tuloy
exactly.
ako.
It should be both, di ba? Itong
Right.
red and blue.
Tatry ko pindutin
Baka
bot.
this is a trick question.
I tried clicking bot, it doesn't work.
Yes.
You know, we better edit this. This quiz is, you know, there's something wrong with this quiz.
There is something wrong with this quiz.
Yeah. Excuses, you know. This quiz is,
Hindi,
there's
joke
something
lang.
wrong.
Okay lang. Enjoy naman eh.
What's the optimal number of users in a Nako, 10. What is the optimal number of users for usability study?
Mali yan eh. Hindi
Optim.
naman
Pero
lagi
I don't
ano
agree.
eh.
No.
Ako din. You can't identify 85% of the issues. Depends pa.
Yes.
This is wrong. No.
So I'll make you, next time, Tin, I'll let you make the quiz. Fish show. Wow. On fire. Number 8.
On fire.
According to GDS design principles, what
Yes.
should you always, government digital service design principles, what should you, malay ko naman, what do I
I will go with this.
user needs na.
Kasi UX tayo eh.
Of course. All right. So our next is that Tisha has a streak of 4 correct answers. 9th question. What is the process of prototype, test, analyze, define, and
Oh my
repeat
God.
code? Wow, everyone's so fast.
At least I got one right.
And our last question. What is a tree test also known as? Tree test. Tree test.
Mali. Tama na. Mali ata.
Tree test.
I don't know.
It's also known as a reverse card. I actually have, you know, if I had taken this
I don't-
quiz, I'd probably fail.
Don't hear also would experiment Ano yun?
Yay.
What is
Yeah.
that?
If I joined this, I'd be fifth. I think.
Cute.
Hooray.
This is such a fun game.
Right.
Yay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you for
Ikaw
being,
gumawa nito, Ellie eh.
it's not me. Thank you for being a good sport. Now, despite
Yeah.
the quiz not being questionable, sometimes the questions are questionable. Thank you for being a good sport. Thank you for all joining this morning session of these conversations with designers. Thank you for conversing with me, conversing with all of designers. And I hope to be able to invite you again next time. Maybe let's invite other designers, our designer friends again, and maybe let's play another game, but this time not as, I know I'll do a quiz that's not UX related. Something like OPM, guess an OPM song.
Yeah, do a
Oh, yeah.
quiz night. Game ako sa quiz night.
Yeah.
Unite
I need social interaction.
yes.
We
Yes,
can
sir.
go
Club of
out.
the introverts, no?
Oo nga.
Thank you very much for coming. Some final words. I'll ask for some final words from everyone. I'll start off with Tin. Any last words for everyone who will be? I share this in YouTube later.
May
Any last words
pressure
for
ako.
everyone in design?
Okay. I guess since everything is moving remotely, I just hope that designers would still do research. I know it's a lot tougher right now because you have to do it remotely, but at the same time, it's a lot more cheaper. So please get in touch with your customers. Now is the time to really talk to them because their current behaviors right now doesn't necessarily reflect what they are doing before. So if you haven't done that yet, do that now.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. All right, Tin, pass the ball.
Birdie.
So, building on what Tin was saying about conducting user research, just since everything's being done remotely, you would expect na maraming interviews and things done over phone calls or maybe video calls like Viber, FaceTime, etc. But do not forget the people who are not who do not have access to digital technology, to internet, all of those things. So sila ang most vulnerable, sila ang mas kailangan ng new services and stuff. So work with the barangay health workers, work with the people on the ground. There are ways to still gather data. Just make sure you don't forget about them.
All right, thanks, Birdie. Pass the ball.
Fish.
Fish.
Sige, since they already mentioned some stuff, I guess from a lead perspective naman, we shouldn't forget to kumustahin natin yung mga the people that we work with and making sure that they are okay and making or checking up of them once in a while because all of us are in this trauma together and we don't know how these people are currently reacting. So sometimes a pat on the back would really hopefully ease them during the situation. So there, and that.
Okay. Yeah, building upon what Tish also shared from an individual contributor or like an employee view. I don't know. uh do note that it's fine if you're not really feeling as productive or parang you don't feel like working kasi that's perfectly normal. We are in a very traumatic situation. We are forced to work from home even though a lot of us have been calling for like being able to work remotely like even before. So just take a break when you can. You have a life to live. It's not always work. Have a clear cut when you're supposed to be working and when you're not supposed to be working. Like allow yourself to breathe. Yeah.
All right. So
And
thank you, everyone. Screenshot. Post everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. So thank you very much. Next time, maybe I'll do another one next week. If you want to join, I'll ask other people maybe. I'll just see if who else wants to do a chat. I try to invite Jen, si Jen Teves.
Where's
oh,
that?
Busy eh. I can pick her brain. All right. Sige. Thank you ah. Enjoy. It's 11.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See
Bye.
you until next time.
Bye.
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 Bye.